You guys see me? Everybody hear me? All that good stuff in there? No, I'm not going to count it down like New Year's, Jay. You hear me all right? See me all right? Ramon, what's up, brother? Everything look good? Sound good? Not sideways. Yeah, that is an upgrade from the Instagram one. Hooked 'em fishing. What's up, brother? Welcome. We're gonna wait for some folks. Take 30 on the dot. Wait for some folks to filter in. But tonight, I figure we talk a little fishing. We do a little unboxing. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. So we're gonna. I'll get to that, Ramon. So we're gonna do some unboxing. We're gonna talk some fishing, and then we're gonna do some more unboxing. We got a shipment coming in from 6 Cents, and we've got one coming from Beast Coast Fishing. So should be good. Yeah, Ramon. So I know we've been talking all week about this horrible affliction you have, this skunkitis, man. Dude, it's a tough time right now. Don't let it get you down. It's definitely a tough time. I know sometimes it feels like, especially when you're looking on social media, like, oh, everybody's just slaying them right now, but it's not as easy as it looks, and you kind of got to get exactly into that right condition. You know what I mean? Take a stick of dynamite. Yes, brother. Listen, you'll get something then. I mean, your DNR's not going to be stoked, but Jay, you got that skunk too? No, man. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming out, Mike. I really appreciate it, brother. Wolfpack. Yeah, hooked them. You can definitely go out for trout. That is an option. I mean, you guys know the content that I put out. I mean, I always bring that crappie rod. Right now, they're super easy to catch. As soon as you find them, they're stacked up. So it doesn't help to bring something else. Ramon, I know you did. I know you were bringing night crawlers, just trying to catch whatever can swim. Brother, it'll happen. It'll happen. Don't worry. So I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram a couple hours ago. This has been in the works for a couple weeks now. But I got accepted onto the Hookset Hoodlums pro staff. Really stoked about that. Awesome group of folks putting family and fishing first. It's amazing. Super happy to be working with them. I'll put some posts up on Instagram later on tomorrow or the next day. But if you guys go to their website, hooksethoodlums.com, use promo code SwampRatFishing. It's 10% off. Honestly, don't feel obliged, but if you guys like their stuff, underwater robberies. But yeah, hooked them absolutely, man. I mean, those crappie setups. I mean, they're just panfish setups, basically, right? You know what I mean? They'll catch trout, blues, crappie, all that good stuff. Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, really excited to be working with them. They're a great group of folks. Again, they definitely put family first. They're all family folk, but they love fishing. They're a little rowdy behind the scenes. Just an awesome group. Really happy to be working with them. In between the two unboxings, I got some questions here. I've got, because I'm old, I had to write them down. I've got 4 questions from folks, and I think everybody's actually in here who asked them, which is great. We'll cover them on the live. So, yeah, definitely, Mike. You're right. Hit that thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Really appreciate it, Mike. Mike. You put whatever I'm supposed to be putting out there. You're the master of these fishing live streams. But right now, make sure everybody got the cold frosty beverage. Good to go. Hooked them. Make sure it's a soda, not a dad pop. Just check one more thing here. All right, what do you guys say? You guys want to crack open that 6 Cents box? What do you think? Mike, you got the coffee, man. You on duty, bro? Well, it's just root beer hooked them, I swear. Stone Brewery root beer. All right, man, let's do it. All right. So 6 cents. You guys know I love the 6. They're great. I was really excited to be able to jump on him. He's not in here, but Struggle Yak. Instagram, follow him. Definitely follow him. But he's the one that tipped me off that they were in stock and to jump on them. All right, so we'll do these 3 first. Excuse me. All right, so if you guys watched my Instagram live where I opened up the Super 6 sack, I was really shocked because I got one of these. And I'm telling you, last year, these were impossible to get. Let's show them up there. These are the Vega Frog. 3 different colors. Super excited for these. So, Angler Issues, what's up, man? Hey, man, we're just getting started. All right, so the Vega Frog. These have been really difficult all of last year to get your hands on. They've been great frogs. Everybody I've talked to who's actually fished them has sworn by them. They're great. They walk extremely easy compared to other frogs. The shape is a lot more slender. Let's, since I popped the black one my last live. So extremely slender in comparison to a lot of other frogs. Makes it cast really well. I mean, I'm really jacked for these. I'm excited to finally get my hands on them. I threw the black one out last week. I actually threw that around 4 days ago. Not even close to frog season here, but just to try it out, and it is amazing. It walks so easy. Even if you don't know how to walk one, you're gonna be able to figure it out. It's awesome. It's amazing. So we got them in pickle breath, white, and black. When it comes to frog fishing with me, I like just your standard white, your black, and then some kind of green. Honestly, the colors are awesome on them on the top, but that doesn't matter at all. Frog can't see. Can you guys hear me right now? Or it says that it's trying to reconnect. All right, I guess I'm good. All right. So we got 3 of those. Buffering a little. What does that mean? Like start and stop? Is it all janky? Uh-oh. Of course, first one. How's it now? Good? Is it still buffering? Still janky? Okay, I mean, all right, we're good now. Yeah, so I had a little bar at the top. Bear with me. This is my first time live streaming on YouTube. So if I need to reiterate, you guys, I got 3, and they're amazing. Cannot wait to catch some slaunches on that. All right, so the other bait, this one is probably has been even more difficult to get than that Vega Frog. That's the Access Metal 2.0. So I did get hooked up by Struggle Yak, and he sent me one, and it's an amazing bait. But then he let me in on as soon as they went on stock. Literally, I picked these up. I hit checkout. I was like, let me try to add a couple more. Already sold out. These things sell out so quick. So I'm not a big topwater guy. The only top I like to fish is frogs. That blow up, that explosion, that's setting in the hook. Woo. All right, so these Access, as you see, it's got a metal bill to it, right? So there's a lot of advertising on it, on being kind of a cross between a chatterbait and a crankbait. And so I ran these the other day too, just to kind of see how it looked. And I threw them in a real clear part of River X just to take a look at it. And man, these things are awesome. So as it's going through, you're going to get the secondary reaction instead of just the wobble that you're normally going to get from your crankbait. because the bill is free moving, it sends that wobble. And it's not like having a wide wobble. I mean, it sends the back of the bait. You know what I mean? Back of the bait, back and forth. I'll see buzz baits. We're going to roll back to the top water. Jay, so buzz baits are one that really intrigued me. A lot of people talk about them, that they're amazing. I really got to get my hands on some buzz baits this year, I think. You know, a big problem with me with top water, other than frog fishing, is I don't really get up that early. And I know you got to get up early for that unless you're frog fishing. That's when you want that sun up really high. So that's been some of it. So the access, so this thing is going to, you're going to have the regular wobble of the crankbait itself. But then due to the bill, it's really going to cause this thing to sway out. And then, so I watched a bunch of videos from Sixth Sense themselves on how to fish it. And then I tried to put it in practice when I went out last week. Absolutely. So as you're fishing it, you give it a hard crank or you give it a little twitch. Instead of coming in that straight line, even though it's a wider line, it's going to shoot way out, right or left. I haven't figured out how to control it. I don't think you can. I think it matters on like what side this thing is clicky clacking on, for better for a better term there. But it'll just shoot out, very erratic. So if you give it a couple steady retrieves and 2 pumps, it'll really throw it. Robert Britton, hey, welcome on. Something to say about a jitterbug. Yeah, right. Well. Yeah, I don't fish at night either. I'm one of those weird folks. I don't really fish at night. I don't fish early in the morning. I probably should. Either one of those, you know what I mean? So in that one, we got 2 colors. We got the 4K bluegill. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Sixth Sense lures before, their paint jobs are amazing. Then I also got one in your standard black and blue. This is going to be a killer on River X. This is going to go right from the package. And it's going to go right into a rod for Saturday. Got a big trip. Yeah. Ramon, that bluegill, like their paint jobs are on point. And they can be a little spendy. Just some prices on these. Because I'm old, I got my notes here. So the Vega Frog right here, Vega Frog's coming in at $9.99. So honestly, if you're normally fishing like a river to sea or a Spro, this is cheaper than that. And then the access is gonna be $14.99. For the paint job that you get and the quality that you get from their baits, they're worth way more than what you actually pay for. That's what makes Sixth Sense really good. You get really high premium baits for a very lower price. And that's all I got from Sixth Sense. It was a good box. Like I said, I just wanted to get stuff that was extremely hard to get. So as soon as they came up, I jumped right on them. And then, so Jay Hunt Fish 81, I think he's still in here. So he asked, Jay's still in here. So Jay asked, so last week I did the Sixth Sense Super Six Sack, right? That's a Sixth Sense version of like your monthly tackle box that like Mystery Tackle Box or Monster Bass put out. So that's their version of it. So he had a question. I'm like, how does it compare? Like, similar kind of some general questions on it. So first, he's pretty sweet, right? But for about 2 to 3 years now. I started with their the Provoke jerk baits. Moved on to the lipless, the Quake 70s that they have. And then once they came out soft plastics, I use a ton of their soft plastics as well. So back to the Super Six Sack. The standard version of it is $22.99, and the premium version is $36.99. So what you're going to get, you're not going to get any other brands other than Sixth Sense. That's all you're going to get. And normally it's kind of what you saw last week. So last week I got a jig a soft plastic, a lipless, and I got the frog. So at $22, I got about $40 worth of product. But it's always going to be from 6 cents. And that's not to say that sometimes they're not going to fit what you fish. A lot of times I'll get like a really deep diving crankbait, like a 15 to 20 foot diving crankbait. I'm not throwing that. That thing ends up being a really awesome Christmas ornament or hangs on my rear view mirror. But for the most part, it's solid every month. You are going to get some repeats. But that's kind of like the way I treat it is like a discounted kind of like bargain bin. Like they're going to send me a bunch of stuff. I know all their stuff is great. Maybe I can't use every single piece of it, but it's awesome. And to do some price comparison. So again, that standard box from them that you would get every month is $22.99. Mystery Tackle box starts at $19.99. And then their Pro box is $29.99. And their Elite box is $39.99. And then Monster Bass, the national box is $25. The regional box is $35. And their multi-species box is $35.99. So it's about in between Mystery Bass and Mystery Tackle box when it comes to their basic boxes. But you're not going to get any other brands. It's just going to be 6 cents. So again, if you want to like maybe dip your toe into 6 cents, I think it's a good way to kind of see what they offer. And then maybe you can stop the box once you realize, okay, this is what I like, and start picking what you want. But for the most part, it's great. Ramon, I know you got your first bag this month, right? How'd you like your bag? Yeah, it was a good variety too. It's good. I'm glad you liked it, man. Again, I think they're, as long as you have maybe an interest in the company, I would definitely go for it. Yeah, so he got some great hard baits, 2 packs of soft plastics. Can't beat it. Let's do some more questions before we get in there. What do we got here? Robert, what did you say here? Yeah, Robert, again, like they've got a lot of really good baits. And I think the bag's a really good way to kind of, and they're going to do it seasonally. And by seasonally, so I kind of broke it down. They'll usually give you some baits for now, and then they'll give you like one bait for the next season coming up. So like the bag that I got had a lipless, perfect for now. It had a jig, perfect for now. And it had a craw trailer, perfect for now. But then it also came with a frog, which is going to be like the next season coming up. So, like, don't get discouraged if you get something that's you might not be able to do now, but they're trying to set you up with that next thing. But if you want, I have been thinking of doing. I do that budget angling series where I spend $50 to tackle warehouse. I pick out a technique or a type of bait. I was thinking about doing just a 6 cent specific one. You guys that are in here, let me know. Like, is that something you'd want to see? Like, just like kind of like my favorites from them. All right, let's get to some questions here. Ramon Outdoors on Instagram. Also, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I think all of you do, but it's Swamp Rat Fishing on Instagram. I posed a question, like, give me some topics, some questions. Ramon Outdoors says, if I had to pick one stick bait and only one stick bait to use, what would I use? So funny enough, the first box was 6 cents. It's going to be the 6 cents clout, but there's a close runner-up. But how committed am I to the clout? This drawer, that's nothing but clout worms in all kinds of sizes and colors. I love the clout. It's great. I love that thing. I primarily fish it on a flick shake, wacky jig hook, 1/8 ounce. It's amazing. But let me tell you, there's a really close runner-up, and that runner-up is the Missile Baits Quiver. That worm is getting pretty close to beating out the clout, just from versatility, because you can fish that worm wacky. You can fish that thing Nico, and it excels at Nico. And then I don't Ned rig a lot, or not Ned rig. I don't Texas rig a lot, but I like Texas rigging that thing. That tail that flops on the thing, that quiver. You guys should take a look at that quiver worm. A lot of versatility to it. It's really awesome. Second question we got from Raul Outdoors. He asked, "What's my favorite fish to fish for?" It's bass, largemouth bass specifically, and he wants to know why. Because I find it a challenge every time you go out. For the most part, at least where I live, they're not super migratory. They're not all over the place. They're deep into cover, and that's how I like to fish them. So largemouth bass. But then he wanted to know my bucket list fish. So a lot of people have a lot of different bucket list fish, and I was lucky enough to grow up in the Pacific Northwest. So a lot of folks are going to be like salmon. Well, I've done that. Cutthroat. I've done that. Big natural rainbow trout and browns. I've done that. Halibut. I've done that. So for me, which is kind of weird, I guess for a lot of the Northeast people, it's smallmouth. I would love to get on some smallmouth. I've heard and seen so many great things, but never got a chance to go out for them. We've got one lake down here in South Jersey that has them, and it's a big lake, and I've only been on it once, and I was really lost all over the place, and yeah. But I do smallmouth for sure, and then a close second on that one would be peacock. And then we got a question from ASAP_fishing, my man. So he wanted to talk about swim jigs versus chatterbaits. Me and him have been chit-chatting about this last couple of days. I think I'm just going to do a whole video on it, man. I think there's a lot to dive into. If you know any of the stuff that I do, I fish a swim jig all the time. I don't even have a chatterbait tied on. I don't even know where my chatterbaits are. Let's see. Yeah, they're back there somewhere. So that's going to show how much but I have a reason to them. But I think I'm going to break that down in a full, like, little 5 to 10 minute video. So I think that deserves some more thought put into it. Don't sleep on that swim jig, guys. You guys got any more questions? Ooh, that got really loud, probably. Hey, Robert, what's up, man? How's Oregon treating you? Glad you could come out. All right. You guys ready to go into Beast Coast fishing? So again, they're a company. Sun's shining and 60 degrees. That's like dead of winter for you, man. You gotta be loving that. It's warmer. We got into the 60s here in New Jersey today. Tonight it ain't gonna be in the 60s. All right, so Beast Coast Fishing was a company about midway through the season last year. It really started putting through its paces. They are a fantastic company. They're jigs. So primarily they're a jig and soft plastic company. By primarily, I mean that's all they make. So their jigs are phenomenal, and I'm going to show you some of them in here. And their soft plastics are great too. They're a smaller company. They're not huge, but they're not made out of a basement either. Super relatable. Their online presence is awesome. You can see them like making up all the baits and stuff before they're sent out. It's really cool. All right. So how I found out about them is like I just talked to that little teaser there, or not teaser, but for that thing about swim jigs and chatterbaits. Their swim jig, the Gorilla swim jig, is so awesome. They are amazing swim jigs. They've got a really stout hook. They've got this crystal flash built into the swim jig that kind of undulates on the outside of the skirt. You know what I mean? They're great. And then they have their flipping jigs, and I really like those. And jigs. So bottom jigs have like eluded me this whole time that I've been bass fishing. I've legitimately never caught a fish on a bottom jig. I've caught them swimming a jig on accident, like, hopping a jig, dragging a jig, and then reeling it back in, and then a hit. And then I'm like, hey, what's the swim jig thing? And then I dove into that, but never had success. And it's not to say that they don't work in my area, but I fish very pressured waters, and the fish aren't of the biggest size. So what I've been diving into them is this Hustler finesse jig. But this isn't. So initially, I thought of these as like Ramon Outdoors sent me some tightrope jigs, and those are awesome. Those are basically they're a really small, almost micro jig, and they've been replacing my Ned heads. I don't fish a Ned anymore. I've just been fishing these micro jigs. But yeah, right, Robert. Like I it's been on accident, so I really want to commit to it because the jig is an all year bait. You can fish that thing, just change the trailer up all year, and you'll be able to slam them. It's going to get you a better size of fish. I mean, I'm a numbers guy. I'm not so much of a size queen. I don't need the biggest ones, but I'll tell you what, after getting through a whole bunch, maybe I want to tie on that big fat jig. Hopefully get a bigger one. I'd be okay with that. And I just want to gain that confidence. So that's what led me, again, to these Hustler jigs. So again, I was thinking of them like those tightrope, those micro jigs. I'm throwing Ned baits on the back of them. Some drop shot baits on the back of them, something real small. And then I started diving in and talking to some folks, right? So with these jigs, you don't want to treat them as a finesse or a micro jig. You want to think of it somewhere in between a finesse jig and a standard jig. So here's the jig itself. So you've got that finesse jig, top flare, right? So you're not having a lot of bulk, but what bulk is there? They make up with marabou that's actually tied into it. So you're going to get some hair jig qualities out of this. But again, don't fish it. This is not meant for tiny, tiny baits. This is not meant for your Ned style. Yeah, exactly. CJ, that's what I'm trying to get to, where I know that confidence, where I know I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to pick up this trailer, maybe 2 trailers. I'll be good to go. That's what I'm trying to build on. So I think this bait's going to help. It's crystal flash that we were talking about, right? You can see it in there. And it has the marabou. But here's where it differs from those ones. It's got a stout hook. This thing's gonna poke them. You know what I mean? So I got that in Rayburn Red. I picked up 3 of those. And then I picked up, it's the same thing again, right? That Hustler, but this is in their bruise color, just their standard black and blue, but it's got that black marabou off the back end. Man, that's a really nice looking jig. I have thrown it around a ton, not a ton, but a good amount. I've got it in dirt, money, another color. But I picked up these colors specifically because, so I mean, it is a semi finesse technique, right? But not really. It's just kind of pared down. And here's their Marauder. So this is their craw, and I've shown these before, right? So this is not like a rage tail. This thing isn't kicking off tons. Yeah, bruise is my favorite color too. Actually, so Bruiser, Jay, if you've ever fished any of their stuff, if you can get the for me, it's that Cajun special, the one that has like the purple and the pink and the black and blue. That's my favorite. Just rip it through, yeah. So with this, somebody told me like, hey man, throw that Marauder on the back of it. And I'm like, do all the work. So get rid of the body, leave this right here. And I've seen these in the water. They give a really nice undulating. I love that word. I have a cold frosty beverage for undulating. But they're going to undulate through the water. And then when it hits the bottom, they're going to kind of spread out, kind of like how a craw would. So I think that's going to be my jam. I'm going to have either this Rayburn red. So you jig guys out there, Jay, man, is this the first one you're going to have tied on, or that black and blue, man? And I fish primarily dirt water, like garbage water. Would you throw that black and blue, or would you throw, I mean, it's not garbage water, it's tannic water. Up here in Jersey, we're down here in South Jersey, so I know Ramon's up in North. We've got really tannic water. So it's like a cedar water. But which one are you throwing, man? All you guys out there, what are we throwing? We throwing black and blue or this red and brown? Guess I should. So I picked up 3 of the black and blues, 2 or 3 of the Rayburn reds, and then I picked up 2 packs of the Dirty Dog. Yeah, cedar stained, exactly. I picked up 2 of the Marauders because I have a bunch of the Marauders, and I just haven't thrown them all yet. But like I said, I want to put in work. Ramon says red in the spring. Jay says black and blue first. See, Ramon, I'm totally with you on that one. It makes sense to me. Black and blue first. Then I have a Dirty Mo. It's a black and chartreuse and brown. Okay. So I got some different options. Like I have one tied on now, and I threw it around. It feels great. It feels awesome. I do like the head design on them too. I was able to pull them out of a lot of grass, and I was able to skip them really well. And if you look at these heads, yeah, so these things, I mean, they skipped really well to get up underneath some docks. Exist, man. There's just no. What's your guys' favorite trailers on the back of these jigs? What do you guys like throwing on the back of them? Robert, are you from a fake place too? There's no Central Jersey. I'm just joking. What do you guys like to throw on the back of that jig? So I've tried some other ones that I really like, especially with these smaller ones, are the... Also, if you guys don't have these in your house, man, they were like $10 a pop at Target. They're amazing for holding baits. But I don't have any here. But anyways, oh, there they are. So I also like these X-Zone Lures muscle back finesses. Robert's throwing a creature or beaver. So it's just a small finesse craw, basically. That would pair up pretty well, I feel like. They got floating claws. Like I'll take every little bit that helped. But so my main thing, so like last year, 2 years ago, I had a little bit of excess just swimming that jig back on accident. So last year, I said, you know what? I'm not going to pack any other moving baits in my kayak other than the swim jig. So I literally brought like 3 rods with a dark colored swim jig, a natural colored swim jig, and a white swim jig. And I fished that thing all year, like February until I haven't stopped. And I really just tried to learn the nuances of it. And I love that bait. Like before that, I didn't have a ton of confidence in a lot of moving baits. I had more confidence in your finesse baits or your soft plastics, things like that. But now, like, I mean, I constantly at least have 2. Like I only take 6 rods with me in the kayak. One of them is a crappie rod, but 2 of them are usually swim jig rods. So. All right. Everybody have a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely, if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button. I think it was a great time. I think we're going to cut it short right here. But if you guys want to see me do more of this, Aaron S., what's up? If you guys want to see me do this more often, I wouldn't mind doing this like a week, Tuesday tackle talk. So definitely let me know. If you follow me on Instagram, DM me. And if I can get enough folks, and by that I mean like what we got here, Dude, I'll do this every week. I love talking tackle. Fishing with Lou, what's up, man? We're just cutting out, man. All right, so everybody, have an excellent rest of your week. Yeah, I'm glad. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week. And tight lines, man.